Hello my dear students, welcome to the third lecture in analog electronics. So in our previous lectures we have already discussed the review of BJT configuration and characteristics. Then we moved on to basic common emitter amplifier. We discussed about operating points, quiescent point. Then we saw why we need to bias a transistor, how to select operating point, need for bias stabilization, and what are the requirements of a biasing circuit. So this we have already discussed, the requirements of a biasing circuit. Let us go through that once again. The first requirement is to establish the operating point in the center of the active region of the characteristics. The second point is to stabilize the collector current against temperature variations. Then the third point is to make the operating point independent of the transistor parameters, that is like beta, and we should ensure that the operating point will not shift when the transistor is replaced by another of the same type. So the purpose of any biasing circuit should be to meet these three requirements. Let us see biasing circuits one by one. So we'll discuss different biasing circuits. You can see this one will be the simplest biasing circuit. That is, here you have an NPN transistor, the base, emitter and collector. So what is the requirement? The first requirement is it should be in the active region of the output characteristics. For that, the base emitter junction has to be forward biased and collector emitter junction has to be reverse biased. So here you see a VBB voltage is forward biasing this base emitter junction, and this VCC voltage is reverse biasing this collector emitter circuit, isn't it? So here the problem is that the voltage, if it is a germanium transistor, or the voltage across the base emitter will be 0.3 volt when it is forward biased. If it is a silicon transistor, it will be 0.7 volt. In that case, for the forward bias junction, if we want to maintain this forward bias voltage here, this voltage VBB must be of the same order in that range, isn't it? There is no any component in between. So if this is the simplest biasing circuit, you will need a voltage source in that range. So you are modifying this simple circuit with a resistor RB, and this is known as fixed bias circuit. So you can use a VBB with the available range, higher range, and you can limit the base current using this resistor RB. Okay, so this is a fixed bias circuit. So this RB, what is the function of this RB? When IB current flows through this resistor, so a major portion of the voltage is dropped across this resistance RB. So the supply can be of in the range 1.5 volt or higher. Such a supply is easily available, and you can see the same circuit can be drawn like this. If you this negative of VBB is connected to ground, and this VCC negative is also connected to ground, isn't it? So you can redraw it like this. The VBB positive is connected through RB to the base, and here the emitter is also connected to ground. So the emitter is shown to be connected to ground, and we are marking the voltage source here, and the representation is changed like this. So VBB through RB it is connected to base, and VCC through RC it is connected to the collector. Alright, so now onwards we are going to represent the transistor circuits in this manner. That is, the source will be shown here, the positive terminal will be shown here, and then the ground will be shown here. If it is a and it is an NPN, if it is a PNP, then you will have minus VBB and ground here, and minus VCC and depending on the configuration of the transistor type of transistor you use. So this is the fixed bias circuit using a single battery. That is, VBB is replaced and you are shorting these two terminals to a single battery. So what will be the change? There will be a change in RB. You have to adjust the value of RB to obtain the same base current. Okay, the drop will be different here. So the value of RB has to be adjusted if you are connecting both the sources to the both the terminals to the same source. So you can modify the previous circuit like this using a single battery. Now, how can we determine the operating point using fixed bias circuit? That is the first step. You saw the requirements. We have to find out the operating point and fix it in the active region, center of the active region. So for this, consider the input section and apply KVL to the base emitter loop. If this is the input section of the transistor, you saw this VCC is connected and it's connected to VCC. Now onwards, we are going to discuss circuits with single supply. And VCC, you know the current IB, and this is RB, and VBE is a voltage across the base and emitter. So applying KVL here, you get VCC equal to IBRB plus VBE. Or what is IB? VCC minus VBE by RB. If you know the value of VBE, that is if you know the type of transistor, if it is silicon, it will be 0.7 volt, and if it is germanium, it is 0.3 volt. So if you know the value, you can substitute and find out the actual value of IB, or you can approximate IB to be VCC by RB. So this VBE value depends on whether it is silicon or germanium. Now suppose you have what do you say, suppose you have a circuit with a germanium transistor, you have to substitute 0.3 volt here. Suppose you have a silicon transistor, you have to substitute 0.7 volt here. It won't make a significant change in the value of IB, so you can easily use this approximation. All right, now this is the step 1. Calculate the value of IB. So that is, we are going to fix the operating point. The first step in that is calculate the value of IB. The next step is to calculate IC. How will you calculate IC? For that, we have to consider the output section. This is the output circuit. And you can see the equation for the output circuit will be VCC equal to ICRC plus VCE. What is IC? IC equal to beta IB plus ICEO. This ICEO is very small, though it is not as small as ICBO, but still it is a small value compared to the collector current value. So you can also make an approximation here. IC is equal to beta times IB. Okay, but there is a limitation here. This is a biasing circuit. You have VCC and RC here. So IC will remain at its maximum value in the saturation region, whatever be the value of IB. What is that maximum value? You know the output characteristics. We have plotted the load line. So IC should be less than or equal to VCC by RC. So the maximum value of IC you obtain in this equation, IC equal to beta IB. You have to check whether it is greater than VCC by RC. We have to ensure that it should be less than VCC by RC. You saw the clipping when we discussed the operating point A in the previous lecture. So that is IC is limited by this VCC by RC. So if it is going beyond that, then this equation, so actually if you have IC equal to beta IB, if it is going beyond this value, then this becomes invalid. This equation becomes invalid there. Okay, so in this condition, you have to check whether IC is, the calculated IC is going to the saturation region. Now we have fixed the value of, we have calculated the value of IC. So if you want to know the operating point, what are the points you need to know? You need to know the value of IC and you need to know the value of VCE. These represent the operating point. This or the coordinates I can say will be, the x coordinate will be, you can write in the coordinate format, x coordinate will be VCE and its y coordinate will be IC. So this gives the operating point in the output characteristics. So this fixed bias circuit, we can find VCE to determine the operating point. How to find VCE? It is VCC minus ICRC will give you VCE. What about the, what do you say, how the second requirements can be met, we will discuss. But before that, let us see go through a simple problem and fix the operating point. So calculate the collector current and collector to emitter voltage for the circuit given. What is the question? Find out the operating point of this circuit which is under this condition. So here you can see VCC is equal to 9 volt, RB is 300 kilo ohm, RC is 2 kilo ohm, and beta equal to 50 degree. So what is the first step? First step is to find out the base current. What is base current? IB equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. You know the value of VCC. It is 9 volt minus VBE. What kind of transistor is this? It is not mentioned in the question. So we can, for the time being, use the equation VCC by RB. So it is 300 kilo ohm. What is the value of IB? IB will be a very small value. It will be in the microampere range and it is 30 microampere. 9 by 300. Okay, so you have completed the first step. What is the next step? Calculate IC. IC is beta times IB. What is beta given here? 50 times IB into 30 microampere. So what is IC? IC will be equal to 1.5 milliampere. So after finding IE, we have one more checking here. One more thing you have to check here, whether this IC is greater than VCC by RC. So what is that value? It is known as IC saturation. This is VCC by RC. What is VCC? 9. What is RC? 2 kilo ohm. You will get that value as 4.5 milliampere. 9 by 2, 4.5 milliampere. So you can see, so this is, sorry, this is 1.5 milliampere. This 1.5 milliampere is less than 4.5 milliampere. So you can say IC has not gone to the saturation region. So we have fixed the value of, find out or calculated the value of IC for this base current 30 microampere. So why is it known as fixed biasing circuit? Sorry, fixed bias, because this IB will be fixed. You cannot change this IB once the circuit is connected. Okay, so IB is fixed here. That is why it is known as a fixed bias circuit. All right. So here IC sat is 4.5 and IC is less than the saturation value. So you can take this IC value and find out what is VCE. You need to get the operating point VCE and IC. So what is VCE? Is equal to VCC minus ICRC. So what is VCC? 9 minus, which IC you will take? This IC we have calculated, that is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 2 kilo ohm, 2 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, so you will get this value as 6 volt. So what are the operating points of this particular circuit, this particular transistor circuit? It is 6 and 1.5 milliampere. This is how you find out the operating point of a fixed bias circuit. The next question, this question you can see two parts here. This circuit is shown with a supply of 6 volts. Since this is a PNP transistor, this will be minus 6 volt. Okay, and you are asked to find, and the load resistance is 1 kilo ohm, that is RC is given as 1 kilo ohm. You are asked to find the value of RB so that a germanium transistor with beta equal to 20 and ICBU equal to 2 microampere draws an IC of 1 milliampere. The second part is you have to find out the IC drawn if this transistor parameters change to beta equal to 25 and ICBU equal to 10 microampere due to rise in temperature. Okay, so from this circuit, the first thing that you can do is write down the equation for collector current here. What is the equation for collector current? IC equal to beta IB plus ICEO. We have to consider ICEO here since ICBO is given in the question. So what is ICEO in terms of ICBO? It is beta plus 1 times ICBO. You cannot make approximations here. You have to find out the values since they are given in the question. So this IC is given as 1 milli. In the first part of the question, you can see it is given as 1 milliampere. IC, it draws an IC of 1 milliampere. This is equal to, what is the beta in the question? 20. So 20 times IB plus 20 plus 1 into, what is ICBO given? 2 microampere, 2 into 10 raised to minus 6. From this you can find out the value of IB, which is the step 1 in fixing the operating point of the fixed bias circuit. You will get this value as, if you substitute 1 milliampere, then 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus 20 plus 1 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 20. That will give you IB equal to 47.9 microampere. So now that you have got IB, you know IC. So what about the input equation? Writing, you want to find out the value of RB, isn't it? You have found out IB. So if you want to find out RB, the input side equation you have to write down. So VCC equal to IB RB plus VBE. Okay, so VCC is given as 6 volt here. 6 is equal to IBRB. What is the value of IB? 47.9 into 10 raised to minus 6 into RB plus, what is VBE for germanium transistor? It will be 0.3 volt. So you can find out the value of RB. What is RB here? 6 minus 0.3 divided by 47.9 microampere. So it will be 118.998 kilo ohm. So you got the value of RB. You can avoid these approximations and check the values if you are interested. There won't be a significant change, but since it is mentioned in the question, we can get an accurate value. Now, this is RB. Now, what is the next step? You have to find, you have found out, completed the first part of the question. The second part is what IC is drawn if the transistor parameters change to beta equal to 25 and ICBO equal to 10 microampere due to rise in temperature. What will happen? Please note, in the first question, IC was 1 milliampere. Please keep that in mind. Okay, and we'll do the second part. So in the second part, the parameters have changed. Now beta equal to 25 and ICBO has increased due to temperature, that is given as 10 microampere. So what is IC here? IC is again beta times IB plus beta plus 1 times ICBO. So what is beta given now? 25 into, what is the IB that you obtained? In the first part, 47.9 into 10 raised to minus 6. Okay. You know, you calculated IB after getting the value of RB. So that is same. It is fixed. It is not changing with the change in parameters or with the change in the temperature. So IB is fixed. Plus beta plus 1 means 25 plus 1. What is ICBO? Into 10 into 10 raised to minus 6, 10 microampere. So you will get a value of IC, if you simplify this, as 1.46 milliampere. So what can you conclude? In this fixed bias circuit, if you have fixed IC at 1 milliampere for certain conditions, certain values of beta and ICBO, and now with an increase in temperature, when ICBO has changed to 10 microampere and when beta has changed to 25, you see IC has increased to 1.46 milliampere. So this collector current is increased by around 50% due to change in temperature. So is that allowable? That is, this fixed bias circuit is seldom used because of these limitations. We'll discuss that in detail. And you can take this as a homework. Calculate the coordinates of operating point as fixed in the circuit below. Please take down this question as a homework. So this is similar to the first question. It is just that the transistor is changed to PNP. Solve this and find out the operating points for this. So what are the advantages of fixed bias circuit? It is simple. It uses very few components. It's very easy to fix the Q point, and there is maximum flexibility in design. That is, Q point fixing is very easy. Simple equations you can use. Find out IB, isn't it? Then find out IC from the IC-IB relation. Check whether it is below saturation value, and then find out the coordinate VCE. That is VCE and IC. That is a operating point. But the limitations here is this circuit has some disadvantages. So this circuit fixed biasing is seldom used. So what are the disadvantages? With rise in temperature, thermal runaway occurs. We saw with rise in temperature, IC is increasing by about 50%. So the operating point is unstable here, isn't it? Operating point will vary as temperature changes. IC is varying. So how this is happening? As temperature increases, ICBO increases, which cause an increase in ICEO, and that causes an increase in IC, and again if IC increases, obviously the operating temperature of the transistor will increase. So this will go on like this. It will cause an further increase in ICBO, and ultimately it will lead to thermal runaway. Also, the Q point, you can see it is shifting with change in beta. As beta changes, again the Q point is changing. So the stabilization of the operating point is very poor if you use a fixed bias circuit. So with this, I'm stopping the discussion of fixed bias circuit. Let's see what improvement can be made in this circuit to achieve the second and third requirements of a good biasing circuit. The first requirement of a biasing circuit is met by the fixed bias circuit, but the second and third requirement we'll see in detail in the next part of the lecture 3. Thank you.